This video comes in 3 parts. I think any citizen, global or otherwise, should take part in the experiences and community around them. They are engaged in and aware of their surroundings as well as the world further afield. Global citizenship has to do with how far you raise your eyes from the place you live. If you accept citizenship of your country, you're aware of federal actions. If you're a global citizen, you're apprised of events that cross oceans and borders. In addition, although it sounds counterintuitive, a global citizen may not immediately have a global impact, but they possess the mindset which allows them to seize the moment and become globally impactful given the opportunity and resources. This impacts my life because I'm a conscientious and metacognitive person who is aware of the community around me and how my actions will impact it. My brother used to be the one to come to the dinner table with brash ideas about current events, and he would debate them at great length, him acting as the instigator who makes bold statements and me approaching it logically. Now that he's graduated and off in the world, I do my own research, and my own curiosity leads me to be invested in worldly events. The only thing left to add to my brewing global citizenship is more global experience. Last spring, we took the trial test of the Smarter Balanced Assessment, touted nationwide as the next big thing in education. Throughout the test-taking period, I couldn't help but feel like it was a waste of time, and I wondered, who decided to do this? I went to my school district's test coordinator to ask how these tests were created, and she went on and on about standards and percentiles and data analysis. I wanted to know if the test makers listened to any student ideas. On the East Coast, some people were protesting these English language arts tests because they were unreasonable and poorly made. The district coordinator said something along the lines of her being a fan of freedom of speech, but those people just won't graduate if they don't take the test. I had discovered that I, alarmingly, had no say in my own education. It seems like I should know what's going on in my own school with my education and that students should have a voice. The fact that I was uninformed and had to dig to learn these things left me feeling a little used. So, my educational moment was when I realized how little influence participants in education really have. That makes me feel like, educationally at least, I live in a dictatorship. Because of that moment, I ask more questions about what's going on around me. But at the end of the day, I feel more confident in my place as a student because at least I'm asking questions and trying to make my education actually mine. I've been mulling over the notion that, on average, education is strict, totalitarian, and about the system itself rather than the student who participates. I've come to realize that education needs to be more flexible, more open, and more personal. Recently, I found an article by Dana Bennis, who isn't me although we share the same first name, that describes democratic education, a model of schooling that focuses on democratic values to direct the education of active participants in the learning community. This is exactly what I've been a proponent of all along. So here's my scheme. Substitute student-chosen, real-life experience for some of our standard homework, and people would be more invested in their education and more connected to their community and the world. The average student has 900 minutes of homework, which ends up being 15 hours a week. But don't forget actual class time. What if, instead of these 3 hours of mindless textbook work a night, studying for the imminent test to end all tests and the culmination of the year, students were able to apply their real interest to service learning and person-to-person education? Outside of school is where learning comes alive, and that's what needs to happen. Students would focus on their key interests, locate programs or internships that have to do with those areas, and then insert themselves into the area that they're interested in. They would get to connect their in-school education with their interests. I understand that this idea comes with challenges since some students may not be as self-motivated as others, but I bet more students would be motivated if they had choices. In most schools there are guidance counselors or study centers that focus on supporting students with their workload. Study centers would just shift their focus to guiding students to the outside study that they're interested in. Student-chosen real-life experiences instead of standard homework would have ripples outside of the school. By encouraging students to take their school learning outside of school and participate in the community, they learn, understand, and maintain more engagement and awareness in their surroundings. I think we need democratic education for students to connect their education to their world and then the world, and that would put us on the path of becoming global citizens.